Hi everyone. Today is gonna be a doozy. I don't know what that means. So today I'm gonna introduce you to two concepts and two postures. So it's gonna be a lot of information. We're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna talk about the concepts first before we get into the postures, because I'd really like for you guys to just start incorporating the methodology of how to learn Ashtanga into your everyday practice. The first concept that I'd like to introduce to you is this idea of sets. Now, I've sort of informally introduced sets to you. We've had the set of Surya Namaskara A, we've had the set of Surya Namaskara B. You're going to see in the next practice that you're going to have the set of the three last poses for your practice. So we've already got sets going on. Moving forward, though, you're going to be learning poses 2 or maybe 3 at a time, depending on how much instruction I really need to give. So it'll be 1 or 2 poses, but you're going to see that they're kind of grouped together because they're like in a mini family of poses that they are very similar but executed very differently. Well, so there's that. The second concept that I want to introduce to you guys is this idea of repetition. So this practice 3B will be Surya Namaskara A, Surya Namaskara B, Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, and then we're going to repeat Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, and then do your closing. And then, in the next video for 4B, we're going to do Surya Namaskara A, Surya Namaskara B, Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, triangle, revolve triangle. Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, triangle, revolve triangle, and then closing. So we're repeating the posture, but not necessarily just repeating that pose. So we're going to be repeating the standing series over and over. We're not repeating the sun salutations because that's our warm-up. We're repeating the postures. So I hope that makes sense. And the reason that we do this is mainly for gaining stamina, but also for memorizing the breath and the movement and really getting there. So what happens after you do the standing series and you get into the primary series? So when we finish the standing series, which is, maybe about like another 4 or 5 videos, then instead of repeating the standing series, you're only going to be repeating the pose that you learned that week. So we're going to do Surya Namaskara A, Surya Namaskara B, standing series, new posture, new posture, new posture, closing, and that's it. So you guys will get it. I just wanted to mention these because this is the first time that you're going to see that we're going to repeat the pose, but we're not necessarily going to repeat it like this in future videos. So I just wanted to just bring that up. So let's get into Padangusthasana, Padahastasana. So Padangusthasana and Padahastasana are the first family of poses that we're going to learn. Pada means foot, Gusta means big toe, and asana means pose, posture, seat. So big foot, big toe, pose. Padangusthasana. Now the second pose is Padahastasana. Pada, foot, hasta means hand, asana, pose, posture, seat. So foot, hand, pose. So we're going to get into the demo now. After the demo, we're going to get into the instruction. After the instruction, we'll get into how to modify. This one doesn't have a lot of modifications for it, but don't worry about it. We'll figure it out, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy this pose and really enjoy the stretch, okay? Let's get right into the demo. So we're going to start off in Samastitihi. We finished our sun salutations. And now on an inhale, we're going to jump our feet out, hands to our hips. Exhale, forward fold, grab the big toes. Inhale the head up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bending the elbows outwards. We're here for 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the inhale, we're going to extend our arms, bring our head up, and exhale, change our hand position to Padahusthasana, hands underneath the feet. Inhale the head up, exhale, bend the elbows. We're here for 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the inhale, the head comes up, arms straight. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale to stand up. Exhale, Samastitihi. We're going to show you guys from the front. So I'm going to turn to face the camera, but this is just for demonstration purposes only. Inhale, jump out. Exhale, forward fold. Grab the big toes, straight arms. Inhale the head up. Exhale, forward fold. Try to bring your shoulders off of your neck. So don't scrunch them up like that. We're here for 5. And then after 5, we're going to inhale and straighten the arms and lift the head so that you're going to look forward. And exhale, place the hands underneath the feet. So we're standing on our hands. Inhale the head up and exhale to forward fold. Come into the posture. Again, bring those shoulders off of your neck. Roll the shoulders down. We're here for 5. And after that 5, we're going to inhale and straighten the arms again, lifting our head up. Exhale, hands to your waist. Inhale to stand all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. So as you see, the pose itself isn't terribly difficult to learn. This is really the first pose in which you encounter a sort of breath in between movement where you have to stop. And so we'll get into the instruction now and we'll see how to sort of think about that, okay? Hello. All right. Today we are going to learn how to do Padangusthasana, Padahastasana. And with that, you see I moved it. I'm learning. We're going to start out with the breath count, then we're going to get into the mechanics. For purposes of demonstration only, I'm going to show you how to do it sideways, and then I'm going to turn around and then show you how to do it facing the camera so that you guys can see my shoulders and what I'm doing with that. So let's get started here, okay? So we're breathing. We're going to inhale, jump out. So, as I've mentioned before, we're going to start this out with the breath. Inhale to jump the feet out. So that means that before you even jump out, you got to exhale fully, inhale, jump out, exhale to forward fold. So that's one full breath. Inhale to jump out, exhale to forward fold. Now, I'm grabbing my big toe with my pointer and my middle finger. My point and my middle finger go between my big toe and my second toe, and I'm grabbing them kind of like I'm hooking them. And so I'm pulling up on them. So you'll see that there are many times where this principle is going to come into play. So I'm pulling up on my toe with my fingers, but my toe is pressing into the mat. So you're creating that oppositional force. Again, you remember when we were doing chair pose, how my feet were pressing into the mat, but my hands were reaching up. So we're creating this 2 directions that are placing this tension in the body. So you're pressing your toe into the mat and you're pulling up on the toe. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Okay, we've got inhale, jump out, exhale, forward fold and grab the toes. Next, we're going to take another inhale to straighten the back and our head up. So you see my arms are straight, my back is straight, my head is tilted back, and I'm looking forward. And then I exhale and I pull myself down. Okay, so it takes 2 cycles of breath for me to get into the pose. So that means inhale, jump out, exhale, go down. Inhale, head up, exhale, pull yourself all the way into the pose. So the first time you go down all the way, you're not getting into the pose. You're just reaching far enough to grab your toes, because then you're going to be able to still lift your head up. So let's go back to how we lift our head up. So we're inhale, head up. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So again, I'm pressing my foot into the mat. I'm pulling up on my toe. So I'm not lifting my toe. And I'm not lifting my toe because my toe is pressing back down into the mat. So my toe isn't going anywhere. Now, I am trying to straighten my back, and I'm doing that by kind of pulling in my stomach and like feeling a stretch on my back. Okay? So if you were trying to escape, you would feel the stretch back here because you're like, I'm trying to get away from my feet, but my feet aren't letting me. So all of this is getting stretched. The back of the thighs are getting stretched. Your head is looking up, and then you pull yourself down. So this is the pose. This is Padangusthasana. Padangusthasana, as you see now, my hips are over my legs, and that's a feature that happens when you press into your feet and you're pulling up on your hands, okay? Now, the stomach is where you're going to be able to get deeper into this pose. Now, I see a lot of people who try to come down. That's not the action. What you're trying to do is go this way. You're trying to go back. So you want to shorten the distance between your chest and your legs. You're not trying to like straighten the back, because then you're going to pull on your hamstrings and you can get injured that way. So that's not what you want. Instead of going down, you are going back. So your stomach muscles really come into play here. Oftentimes, I find that I am pressing my stomach out to create comfort because I don't want to stretch. My body doesn't like feeling uncomfortable. But what you got to do is you got to suck that in, not a lot, just a little bit, and you're going to find that you can pull yourself in just a little bit more. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing that you should really pay attention to, and you'll be able to see it better when I'm facing forward, is the shoulders. Okay, so the shoulders, you can't really see it here, are pulled away from my neck, so they are not like crowding my ears. Okay, so we're here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale to come up. All right, that's the first one. It's going to take 2 cycles of breath to come out of this, okay? Remember, inhales are to come up and to make bigger. Exhales are to go down and smaller. So we'll inhale the head up. And then we're going to exhale and change the hand position to Padahusthasana. Padahastasana, your whole hand is underneath your feet, okay? So your toes are pressing into the pad of your palm. So that is like at the base of your thumb, that big squishy part. And then your fingers are closer towards the arches. So again, we'll look at that again, okay? So we're breathing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to exhale. And then on the inhale, head up. Exhale, change the hands. Inhale the head up again. And exhale, pull yourself down. And we're going to be here for 5 breaths. The same principles apply here. You're going to press into your toes, into the palms of your hand. and your elbows are going to go out wide, and your shoulders are going to come back. Again, you're not trying to go down. You're trying to go back. Okay, so we're here, we're breathing. My hips are over my ankles again, trying to straighten as best I can. And then after 5 breaths again, what we're going to do is take 2 breaths to come back to standing. Inhale the head up. Exhale, place your hands on your hips. Inhale to stand up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Okay, so think about this. 2 breaths to get into the first pose. 2 breaths to get into the second pose. 2 breaths to come out. And in each pose, you're going to hold it for 5 total breaths. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's just look at the count, okay? Inhale, jump out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, head up. Exhale to come down. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale the head up. Exhale, change the hands. Inhale the head up. Exhale, pull yourself down. And each time the elbows are going out wide. We're here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale the head up. Exhale, hands to your waist. Inhale to stand up. Exhale, Samastitihi. All right, let's look at it facing forward now. Okay, so I'm going to turn forward. My feet are together. I'm in Samastitihi. And I'm going to jump my feet out. Okay. As you can see, my hips and my feet are aligned. Okay. I'm not jumping the width of the mat. All right. Let's just go here. So you see when I jump out, my feet are not the width of the mat. That is generally too far for people. When you are in your 2nd and 3rd trimester of pregnancy, it's okay to separate them a little bit more to accommodate the belly. So I'm not going to say that there is this perfect spacing in between your feet. What I'm going to say is that there are times for certain spacing. So we'll inhale to jump out. Exhale to forward fold and grab the big toes. Inhale the head up and exhale, pull yourself down. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. When I come down, my head is all scrunched up here. The first thing I do is adjust that. And boom. You saw that? There's more space. You saw that? Let's see that again. Inhale, head up. Exhale, down. Scrunched and saved. All right. So we're here for 5 breaths. Look at that. Look at that scrunching. You don't want that. Bring the shoulders back. So we're here for 5 breaths. And you'll see my elbows are coming out wide. And somehow my elbows are coming out wide and not bunching up here because I'm pulling these muscles down rather than trying to scrunch up here to get my bicep and my forearm closer together. I'm trying to get my elbows out wider by pulling over here. Okay, so let's keep going. Inhale the head up. Exhale, change the hands. I'm gonna give you a fair warning here. Most people, when they change their hands to this position and come into Padangusthasana, have a tendency to scrunch up the shoulders because it is easier to scrunch up the shoulders in this one than it is in the first pose. Okay, so let's look at that. Inhale, head up. exhale down. You see how like it's easier to like just let this hang? Pull the shoulders back, pull them up. This is really what I wanted to drive home with this angle. Okay, so we're again here for 5 breaths. And after those 5 breaths, we're gonna lift the head up. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale to stand up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Okay. Now, again, this pose right here looks very simple. You know, we are talking about just grabbing your toe and forward folding. The oppositional force that you create by grabbing your big toe and pressing the toe into the mat, the oppositional force that you create by having your palms trying to pull up on your foot while your foot is pressing into your palms, those are going to engage the right muscles to protect your hamstrings. Your hamstrings can be very sensitive. Your hamstrings are very difficult to heal because you use them more often than you think, okay? So let's try to protect the hamstrings and create that oppositional force. You're going to see some modification in the next video, but what I want to say is that this is pretty much the pose. There's no real way to make it more challenging rather than just really pressing your feet into the mat and pulling up on your hands or pulling up on the toe. And let's look at that hand position. You see how like my fingers are in between my big toe and my second toe, and my thumb is on the outside, okay? So just let's point that out there. All right, so that's the instruction for today. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that you get some good information out of this. We're going to get into the modifications next, and then our practice today is going to be your first pose. Yay! All right. So now that we have sort of a way to incorporate that into how we practice, let's talk about modification. So again, I just want to stress modification does not mean that you're doing something wrong or you're doing something bad. And I'm just going to keep hammering that in, okay? We are modifying for our own bodies, okay? Not everybody was a gymnast. Not everybody was a ballerina. Not everybody is strong. So do what you can. Work with what you've got. Be kind to yourself, okay? So let's get into those modifications. As I mentioned, there's not a lot to the modifications, but let's jump right into it. Inhale to jump the feet out. Exhale, bend the knees and grab the big toes. Inhale, straighten the back and head up. And exhale, forward fold. Now, again, if you can't reach your feet, if you can't reach your toes, bend your knees. That's okay. There's no issue with that. Inhale, look up. Exhale, place your hands under your feet. If you can only manage to get your toe or your fingers underneath there, do that. And then exhale, forward fold. And we're here for 5. And again, just bend the knees. Inhale the head up. Exhale, hands to your waist. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Let's get to our practice. Practice 3B is the first pose of this standing series. Enjoy your practice, okay? As I mentioned before earlier in this video, we're going to do Surya Namaskara A 5 times. We're going to do Surya Namaskara B 5 times. And then we're going to do Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, and then you're closing. Now, in this video, we're going to have a little bit more involved closing sequence, so pay attention to that. We're not just going to sit and meditate. We're going to sit and we're still going to stretch for a little bit, and then we're going to take Shavasana. So I hope you found this informative. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and we're trying to keep this content for free. So if you would like to become a patron, there's a link down below to my Patreon. And just keep referring back to these videos as much as you need to, okay? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Love you guys.